Ready or not, guys? Let's fight! Let's fight, our people! Let's fight! Let's fight! Let's fight! Let's fight, guys! Get them sick up! You know what you gotta do? Let's fight! This is all your dream. You know what you gotta do? Let's fight! Let's time up! Someday! Let's fight, guys! And let's fight! Welcome to the ring, folks. Hurry and stop. Thriller and pack. Each and every one of you. Beautiful folks. Welcome to the ring to all of you guys. Let's fight. Let's fight. Ready or not? Let's fight. Punches got it too. You hear the bell, the button the bell. Let's fight, my people. Ready or not? Let's fight. Marlon Thomas, Single Impact, Leslie Wardine, welcome in the ring to each and every one of you guys. We are really grateful that you folks are here. Pace and power, guys. Pace and power. We got some folks dropping by. Ensure you share the damn line. Smash that emoji button, folks. And partner with us. We're fired up at our end. Boots on the ground. Trust that you guys are ready to go. We trust that you guys are ready to go out there. We're getting ourselves set almost there, ensuring that we're shared to all the right places, guys. Ensuring that we are shared to all the right places. We're fired up, and we hope you guys are too. We hope you guys are well where you are. Trust you folks have had a good day, a strong day, a fantastic day. Fired up, guys, getting set at our end, about ready to go, ensuring that we share through to all the right places. Guys, you don't wanna share to the wrong places, you know. So pace and power, boots on the ground, folks. Get set. We got a couple folks stopping by. Sufong yet? Them boys fancy yet? Please let us know. Share the live, guys. Smash that emoji button for us. Good to see each and every one of you who are here with us. We are so grateful that you guys are here. We are fired up at this end, folks. And we are ready to go. I see you guys pouring in by the 100. Pace and power. Pace and power, folks. Pace and power. Power and pace. Pace and power. Good to see each and every one of you. Good to see each and every one of you. And we're so happy. We're so happy that you guys are here with us. Could not do it without you. Fantastic, lovely, beautiful people. So happy you guys are here. So very, very happy you guys are here. Where you all be, where you all at, where you all are. Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you. Those of you who are now joining us on the various platforms, welcome. Good to have you folks. Good to have you folks. We're really happy that you folks are here. We can't lie. Share the line, folks. Smash the emoji button and ensure you're partner with us to keep our work moving forward, to keep us going forward, folks. Strong, credible, and valid information. Informed citizens make informed decisions, and we're so informed decisions. And we're so happy that you folks are here with us. We are so happy that you beautiful folks are here with us. Folks, make the shares look right. Don't come out and line tonight, you know. We got work to do, folks. We got a lot of work to do. Folks are joining us in just a little bit. Penny, Griffith Peters, you share the live yet? Everett Small, what about you? Sheila Hazel, Shorter Fortune, Wonder London, Granite Jones, Everett Small, Altia Lane, how are you folks doing? Share the live. Smash that emoji button. Cicely, Polly Schultz, Chandel Moses, Desiree, Charlotte Cicheran Mohan, good to have you. Diane Graves and Gail Ali Cook, Wills, Felix Cloud, good to have you folks. Anita Alkins and Ann Singh, how are you guys doing? Fired up at this end. Where you folks, the Junior Gibbs, Sister Mercy, Dennis London Welshman, we got hundreds of you already joined us, folks. Smash that emoji button. Don't get out here looking 10. Michael Jack. Don't get us out here looking 10, Michael. Don't get out here looking 10. Joylyn Cook, Paul D'Angelo. Good to see you, folks. Trisha Adams. Good to see you. Terrence Lloyd Wallace. Good to see you as well. We're so happy that you guys are here with us. So happy. Good to have you, Kat Sharma Spotted. Horace Calder, good to see you as well. Julian Williams and Karen Thorne. Folks, share the like, smash that emoji button. Coming up, Amanza Walton-Desir is going to be joining us. Coming up, Ganesh Mahipaul is going to be joining us as well, folks. Talking about the things that matter. So, from the still lost, good to have you here, Audrey Ward, June Rickby Joseph, Greta Jones, Orin Don Cook, Vanessa Andrews, Wilton Blue, good to see you. Yannick Henry is here as well. Roxanne Odessa Jacobs, good to see you as well. Good to have Lynette Scotland here. Yep. Carl Gill is here as well. I see Hulbert Harry is here too. Good to have you. John Liverpool, come on down. What about Chandler Mose? Ingrid Warrior is here too. Vanessa De Silva, good to have you. Spurry Lee, how are you doing, Spurry, guys? We are so happy. We're so happy that you're all here. We're fired up at our end, ready to go. Gigi Woodgall, what are the eyes about? Tell me something. Tell me something I don't know. Pace and power down in Liverpool. What are the eyes about? We're fired up at this end, guys. D Black, Wilton Blue, Heaven Faith, Donald Levan, Volvo Wilson. Good to have each and every one of you here with us, guys. Good to have each and every one of you. Pace and power. Sandra Brotherson says it all. Boots on the ground, folks. Share life. Those of you who missed the protest yesterday, we're back out there at 9 in the morning, folks. Do join us. Please and thank you. You missed the protest. We're going to be back on the ground tomorrow, guys. We is going to be back on the ground. Please and thank you. 9 o'clock there. Muster Points, Creative Revolution. And then we're in front of OP. We're in front of OP tomorrow, making our voices heard. Folks, Jack Dio must go. We want no thief MVP. You understand? We don't want no thief MVP. We don't want people excited and have stuff. Please and thank you, folks. We need people of caliber occupying those offices. We know a couple folks. Rightly suited folk. He must go. We're going to be out there tomorrow. Boots on the ground, Elias King, Michelle Curica, Polly Ann Schultz. Lily, good to see you. Roxanne Odessa, good to see you as well. Donna McDonald, how you folks are doing? John Raymond, Annabelle Clement, John Liverpool, Kalena Rana, it's good to see you as well. And Carol Forrester, we see you. Laverne Hercher and Kelman Prasad. What about you? Desiree Smart, Felix, we see you as well. Good to see you, Dan Fordyce. Lizzie. Adams, good to have you here. Delia Silcott, good to have you too. Kim Walker, John Raymond, Marlon Thomas, the bag set come now. The bag set come. Marlon Lawrence, only Marlon come. Earl is here too. Earl, how we doing? Earl Lewis Sr. is here, folks. Share the live. Smash the emoji button. We are fired up at our end, folks. And we are ready to go, folks. As we're coming on, we are being told that the Malawi president has stripped his vice president of power after corruption allegation. Not like we, is not promoting. Yes, get promoted. That is how the PPP operates. Malawi is reporting this evening, folks. Malawi is reporting allegations of corruption against his vice president. The president has stripped him of all his power, stripped him down, all his power over corruption allegation. They are not so much. No. We different. The people corrupt. That's the problem we have. They are corrupt to the core. That's the issue we have. John Raymond, good to see you. Carmen Johnson, good to see you. Jennifer Bob, Relman Alexis, Randy Singh. Great to have you folks here. Malawi leading the way. Corruption allegation, you got to sit down. Valerie Clark, not so. Natasha Farmers, not so. Corruption allegation, sit down, man. Sit down. Get yourself together. Troy Spencer. That is how dignified countries do it. That is how democracy-loving countries do it. That is how countries who believe in transparency and accountability do it. Now no. They start the talk. They can't walk the walk. That's what I want to tell you all. Who vets lose? Share the live, folks. Smash that emoji button. I don't know about you, but we're fired up at this end, guys. And we are ready to go. We hope you guys are ready as well. Shirley Crichton, rock and come in. Paul and Hawk Kippins, rock and come in. Share the damn live. Angela Dick, share the live. Cassandra Keeler, thanks for that message. Share the live. Moving along, Benita. Emmanuel Duncan family. Lugard, good to see you. Linda Gordon, Lyndon Gill, Winston Kilkenny, good to have you here. Winston, Maurice Bradford as well. Akeem Williams is here. Andrew Cuthbert. Andrew, I ain't see you for a little bit, boy. I ain't see you for a little bit. Wherever you are, I forgive you. Clifton Smith, rock and come in. Spurry Lee, rock and come in. Bernice Bob, good to have you. Donna Bob, good to Donna Levan, rather. Donna Levan. Owen Barker, good to have you. Beatrice Helby, rock and come in. BJ has to go, folks. BJ got to go. Papa Jagabat has to go, folks. We start this evening. Welcome in the ring. Each and every one of you, wherever in the world, you folks are joining us from. Welcome in the ring. We trust you guys have had an empowering day, folks. Pace and power. Moving along, folks, we start. From around the world tonight, lots of things are happening. Lots of things, folks. Did you know Afghanistan had an earthquake today? Yeah, we had one a couple of days ago, Sunday. It's called Guyana for Sale. That was your earthquake. Yep, that was our earthquake. Afghanistan had the real thing. That's where we begin tonight, folks. Signs of the times, a 6.1 magnitude earthquake has rocked Afghanistan. The guys are telling us about 1,000 people have been killed. Over 1,500 persons have been injured. Folks, our thoughts and prayers. Of course, naturally go to the people of Afghanistan tonight. While they're having their earthquake, there we got our own earthquake. Revelations, folks. Earthquake. Yep. Like Father and Comfy World. The good book says in the last days, it's earthquake and all these things happen. Earthquake and all these things. People can thief out money from the citizens. Right? Last days. Thoughts and prayers, folks. Our thoughts and our prayers go out to the good people of Afghanistan there. Yep. We hope that they get all the right kind of care and aid that they need at this time. And that's what's happening, folks, in Afghanistan. Look what's happening, folks, along the region. Close by, next door. Yep. Look what's happening. Father, have his mercies, folks. Some things when you see them, Father, have your mercies. Whoever you call them higher power, you start calling them. When you see some afflictions, when you see some maladies in our society, heaven help us. This evening we saw Andrew Holness of Jamaica, the Prime Minister out of Jamaica. He has condemned, he has denounced the brutal murder of a woman and her 4 children. Folks, brutal was this murder. Each of them, I don't even want to repeat it how it's so gruesome. Each of them had their throats slashed. Each of them, folks, brutal. Father, have your mercies. Father, have his mercies, folks. Father, have his mercies. Sometimes it's too much. Sometimes it's just too much, folks. They're reporting that Kamisha Wright and her children, Kamana Smith, 15, Shamira Smith, 10, Shamira Smith, 10, Kavana Smith, 5, and the 23-month-old Kishan Henry. They were found with their throats slit in the central parish of Clarendon. Yep, the central parish of Clarendon. Keisha Smith and her 4 children, all of them, even the 23-month-old, just under a year, had his throat slit. Can you imagine that? What kind of world we living in? What kind of sick people we got? Our thoughts and prayers with the entire Clarendon community there in Jamaica. Father, have his mercies. You see what the world coming to? The whole world upside down. Murders, killings, corruption, you name it. Father coming for his word just now. I want you all know that. Father is coming for his word. You have to prepare yourselves. Our thoughts and prayers again with the people of Jamaica, and especially those people down there in Clarendon who are grappling with this most heinous of crime. And we're told that they have held a family member for questioning, and we're being told also that that family member is assisting police in investigations there. Clarendon, Jamaica, folks. Moving on the fight card. The opponent, you know those local drivers, they're hearing at all, those local drivers, recklessness. Continue on the road, much like this government, reckless. Some of y'all hearing, y'all opponent. Some of the drivers, and where you feel, y'all understand that? When you don't hear, you feel. The tragedy is, some of you can make other people feel with y'all unjustifiably so. Because you're not using the road with care. And this is why we spotted Linden today, folks. This is what we spot in Linden today, Green Hart Street and the Industrial Area Junction. There are 4 car accidents there. Because people don't want to take the time. People don't want to use care and caution and consideration and all of those good things. Huh? They want to use 3 C's, they can use 5. And folks, we got to be careful out there. We got to be careful. You know, some of y'all that clearly yourself and expiring your birth certificate by yourself. There's going to be trouble, you know. Is that y'all can carry some people with y'all. Tell us the trouble we got. And so folks be saying, oh, if not for yourself, have consideration for other road users, no man. Have consideration for other road users. So that was Linden. This is the same foolishness we saw here. Rumzek, West Coast, them are a car turn over the trench. There, folks. We tell y'all, man, come on, folks. Come on. Right? Unless it's a smart car gone bad. Right? A smart car turn a done stop, just drive overboard by itself and turn over. Come on, folks. We got to do much better. Folks, who share the life? We spectated. You're in vehicles that are going fast and doing all kind of gymnastics on the road. Tell them slow down. Don't be afraid to tell them that. Slow down. Do not be afraid to tell them slow down. We want to arrive alive. What the hell is wrong with you folks? Again, if some of y'all are writing yourselves up, there was one thing, but you can carry some innocent people with y'all. Slow down, ladies and gentlemen, and let's arrive alive. Who's sharing the live? Coming up, folks, Amanza Walton-Desir. Coming up, Ganesh Mahipaul going to be joining us. We're moving on in the fight car. We there. For your information, we don't see certain things, you know, unless they see it in the ring. Then they take cognizance of it. Is that either see it in the ring or is Sue going to carry to them? Because, you know, of course, Sue got all the support. Sue got all the support. Sue got friends in high places. Right? So look what we saw. For information, FYI. They got a fella down there. The folks in are selling, telling us, First Street are selling. The residents are fed up. They're fed up with them. Oh, so the pallets blocking the road. You know, some people as neighbors really inconsiderate. I want them far from y'all. I want a plot of land. Like in the middle of the Linden Suits, like highway. You must go walk or drive but 50 miles off the highway to come and reach me front gate. Right? So you got no Sue just dropping over. When you come, you come. No students can't drop over about 50 miles off the highway. It's just a drive-in. You understand me? When you come to the front gate, so I give you a cup of water for you head back out. How about far from some of you? Whole set of pallets blocking up the road. Inconsiderate people. Meanwhile, of course, there's some people that at all. The people in First Street are selling. They say they're fed up. They're fed up. They're asking government for sell land someplace else. They say take the road, take the property and all. We just want to be rid of y'all. Right? They say they're fed up and they're asking for some intervention. Folks, moving on the fight, I want to live far from some of y'all because I know one of y'all know them same people. If you ask the same people watching the program right now. Move the damn palace off the road and give the people a break. So the people could move through it. Easy access. Right? Easy access, easy leaving, easy coming. Moving on the fight, y'all folks. People know are still in, you're better than that. Pace and power. That's why I want to tell some of y'all. Pace and power. Look story now. Yeah? Look story now. Vice Chair of the PNCR. Member Parliament Vince Roy Jordan. He said, don't come wrong with funny. Vince Roy said, don't come wrong with funny. Carry them to court. Catfish. Papa Jagabat, all them going. Baby Jagabat, all them. Y'all want to appoint Chancellor and Chief Justice on y'all own time and son? Alright, y'all don't understand the meaning of meaningful consultation where we can overstand it in the court. We can overstand it. So Vince Roy Jordan is carrying them to court. That's the only thing to understand. Well, y'all know. Just the same way once you start talking about Sue, how Jack Bill start trembling. When you start talking about court, well, until he start trembling, his spine tingling. He went nothing yet, you know. He went nothing yet since I will go in the seat. You need a national day prayer just for the seat of AG. I don't know, like soon you touch the seat of recent, like you just get stupid. Right? You just get big and stupid, big and doty. Soon you touch the seat. And it's a reasonably thing, fella. Reasonably thing. Right? As soon as you touch the seat like problems is start, he win nothing. In 2 years, nothing can before the court. Licks like peas, left, right, and center, works for us. So here's Vince Roy Jordan, Vice Chair of the People's National Congress Reform, taking them to court. Y'all here, y'all go feel. Let me go before Claudette. Not Claudette. Chief Justice Auntie Roxanne, well, she might recuse herself because she has an interest in this matter here. Let me go to court anyhow. Let me go to court. That's what we tell them. Look what's happening. Pace and power lines for chasing nonsense. With the COI business. We ain't got COI into people who spitting on security personnel. We ain't got COI into, how people meeting with SWAT team at or in Boston House. So, Quindon Bacchus get killed. We ain't getting COI into a lot of things in this country. People are hungry and suffering every day. We ain't getting COI. But y'all bringing COI for elections. It's fighting the CCJ. So that's what the Alliance for Change told them today, folks. Today we saw this coming out of the Alliance for Change. They said y'all couldn't even meet to consult with the opposition on the composition of this Commission of Inquiry into elections 2020. So they have no faith in the courts. The Court of Appeal locally, the High Court, they got no faith in the CCJ because they see how Anil has been performing there. So they're going now to bring the whole kangaroo court. And they won't even give it some semblance of order. Some semblance of broad-based acceptance by consulting with the opposition. No. Them boys want to do everything by themselves. Right? So you won't get, the fragrant, they ain't get too much justice in the CCJ when the substantive aspects of the election petition is heard. No. They are going to now make their own court. They're going to make their own court. That's what it costs them to do. You see, they can't destroy and dismantle UG. So they got with goal now. Their own scholarship program and so on. That's how this operates. Right? They can't bring the CCJ president by house. Right? And introduce you and so to manage the arrangement. So the government now set up their own courts. Jagabats and trench crappers. Jagabats and trench crappers. Pace and power. Vince Roy Jordan. Pace and power. PNCR. Pace and power. Kemraj Ramjatan. Pace and power. Alliance for Change. That's how we like to see it. That's how we like to see it. Keep the X coming. Keep the runs coming. Moving on to fight cards. Nice time for some people. A nice one about some of y'all. Just like Anil. You think you have a little sense, but then you always do say the stupidness. I mean, you got a right. You go to town with your little fine change, your little fine jewelry and so on, your weekends. That's you think. We understand that. You have a right. Who's sharing your life? We like, we sharing your life today. You have a right to your possessions, your assets, and so on. You have a right to it, but you got to understand the environment in which we operate. We have, if you don't understand, you can overstand it. Rasta men like me, we understand the environment we are operating in. We work to suit. You gone into all your goal and so on, big settlement. You're looking for problem, and that is what happened, folks, to the Keisha Gary. Keisha Gary working for some fancy company. A place like Church Street. Not even church. Church Street. You go left $600,000 in a vehicle, but them boys having a nice time tonight. Nice time. I ain't saying you got the right to do it, but you got to do it knowing fully well what are the possibilities. And y'all know things tight now. Them boys getting more desperate. Ordinarily, Bart don't entertain people by your house, but things tight now. So when Sue come knocking from next door with 2, 3, 4, 5 investors, he say, hold on, Sue's you? I'm coming down, hold on, park them, I'm coming. You want to park the car for you too? Hold on. 600,000. The Keisha Garway is set up had in her car. 600,000 left in her car. When she come back, she looking for the money looking for her. At least the reports telling us. So the reports telling me 600,000. Nice time for them boys. Some of y'all big, you know. Some of y'all big. But you haven't got it. Huh? I know I ain't talking to Ann Beverly. Ann Beverly big, but she got sense. I ain't talking to Diane Fordyce. Diane big and she got sense too. Desiree Thomas, I ain't talking to you neither. But some of y'all big, but you haven't got it. Julian, it's not you. Mark Doris, it's not you. I know you got thing between your ears. Kim Walker, Darlene Gale. I know it's not you, but some of the other people, they're big. But they ain't got it. 600,000 you gonna feel like Karen Church Street? Huh? You think you're Jack your compound? You think you're the security Jack your compound? 600,000. Well, look, story here. Right? If you want to make your money, I say ask Sue. Right? Sue got my full support. He's a friend. He give you the back like this. You know how much Sue paying in rent? Per month? 2 million US. Conservative estimates. Those are what the fellows are telling us. Those are the allegations being made. Sue paying about 2 million US in rent. Right? No, for that kind of money, you could stay simultaneously. You could stay at Pegasus, every room you rent out. You rent out every room at the Marriott on a monthly basis, plus Grand Coastal. Every room, plus the Shark Time by the seawall along there. I know the name. Don't ask me the name. I know the name. It's passing. I see 1 or 2 years coming out. You can rent it all for them. Monthly, all the rooms for 2 million US. 400 million Ghana dollars. Isn't that so? Oh, it's more than that. 800. How much is it? Money like that. Conservative estimates. But not like Keisha. She left she money, she care. Nice time for them boys. Nice time. Right? Nice time. Look story here now. Them boys, they come back. That's why you know. Them boys come back. And if they come back, y'all know they're effing up this country. Y'all know they're effing it up. Friends like Sue, family, and favorites. That's how they're operating. That's how the PPPs work. That's what Sue's emblematic of. They're epitome of it. Friends, family, favorites. They're effing up this country. We're tired of it. And we said beginning with Jack, no, he must go. He must go. Friends, family, favorite. Who share the live? Who can smash the emoji button for us? Have the courage of your conviction, the testicular fortitude. Share the live. Smash the emoji button. Partner with us. Effing up the whole country. Friends, family, favorite. Sugate. Once we talk about it, let me talk about the friends tonight. Right? The friends. Let me talk about the friends. Who has all the support. I handle things on the government side. Who handling things on the other side? Right? If you don't know what to do, call Sue. You got all the support, folks. Look what they now. Look what they Catfish gone to the Commonwealth. Has a government meeting in Rwanda. Catfish left but 48 hours ago, but like he meet it like he walk in. Sue got to lend some transportation. Like the man walking. Because until when we check, 48 hours later, we see one photograph say he has arrived. We see one photograph, like the man make a beeline. Like the man gone on a vacay in Barbados. It's a vacay or it's a staycay. A staycation. Like, man, was tired? Man, was tired? Sorry. As a government, I can take you another time. Mia, take one. Follow fish racing. Take one, Barbados. I go relax myself. You see how them great the man get in? The man went in there. We hear jet black. But he not accustomed to the rackings, the real rackings, and run-ins, and corruption of Jack. The man getting gray by the hour. You watch and see. When Irfan come back from vacay or the staycay, Silver Fox. You don't know the difference between he and Granger. Except the size. You don't know the difference? Fully gray, Silver Fox. So like the man arrived yet in Rwanda, he didn't arrive yet. Who shared the live? We share the live? How we line in? You won't know the difference. The man like he make a beeline. He make a beeline. He say he fell up a y'all. He stop short? Or he must be downstairs in the living room to like Sue. He must be downstairs in the living room with two investors waiting to see the boss. Waiting to see the boss. Moving on down the line, folks, coming up. Ganesh Mahipaul, coming up. Amanza Walton-Desir. Live and living color. Right? The downstairs in the living room, I tell them, hold on. The downstairs. We going down just now. The downstairs, we going down just now. Hold on, man. I see my main chick, man. Shared main chick. Let me turn my attention now. From Catfish, we gone to the Jaguar. But y'all friend run out. Y'all friend run out. He Jack got a lot in common. A lot in common. Y'all friend run out to defend Jack Joe. They got a lot in common. They got a lot in common. Testicular fortitude. He run out now. Birds of identical plumage. Assemble in close proximity. He come out now. He did good, you know. He take long. Right? You can see that he really want to do it. It was 72 hours later. You know, time taken. He very reluctantly. He said helping to fast track business dealings cannot be seen as corruption unless you take your money for services that should be free. Unless you take your money. He really into it, you know. You just know. It's like the last time he was next to Irfan Ali talking about meaningful consultation and so on. You can see the body language. Right? The body language doesn't tell you. It's like either here. Let me see. Yeah, he done this side here. Irfan, and the man tell over here. If I even want the same photograph, let me see the body language. Just like how he went in them cases. He really into it. Right? He said, don't equate to corruption. If you're just helping out. Wink, wink. We can help you. Right? Soon the hotel got nothing to do with me. It's private, ain't got nothing to do with government neither. Y'all don't get the tax holiday that everybody's get. It's the same as uniform. But bring it to see me anyhow. I want to see how straight the hair, straight and the complexion. Bring you over. Bring over Sue. If you're not say the hair and rapping folks, hold up. I hear the rapping is Sue. Them fellas got intercom, he said, clicking. And then Jarvis comes on. Well, if you're asking me who is Jarvis, he belongs to a different century. Jarvis comes on. Power Jaglio, there's someone at the door. It is Sue for you. What should I say? The man said, helping fast track business dealings cannot be equated, cannot be seen as corruption. So it is now obviously the president that's housed the vice president and so on. They got an annex now. They got an annex in Parliament too. Folks, y'all take a couple seats. Moving on, folks. Moving on. Hamper Nation. Distraction Nation. We told y'all it was coming. We told y'all it was coming. Them boys say, look, listen to me, allow us. You, like Sue, get $30,000. But it's not US like Sue. You get 30,000. You get 30,000. You get 30,000. We are getting every child. Priya came out justly. Of course, after she has put out her peace and support of the vice president's integrity and testicular fortitude through all of this, she said every child getting 30,000. So parents, hush up. Drink your water, buy a bottle of water, mind your own business. You only need 5,000, only 30,000 to buy a bottle of water. Buy a bottle of water, drink your water, and mind your own business. Money got for make. That's what prayer say. Money got for make. Look story here. Every child, distraction. That's what we tell you, distraction. Look story here. They need some distractions for Georgetown Public Hospital. The patients telling me they send food coming every now and again. Few and far in between. Few and far. So when you eat today, you gotta back some for tomorrow because you just don't know. You just don't know. I tell you, if you got a problem, ask Sue for some support. Sue is the man that got all the support. See, you're just calling Sue when you don't know what to do. MP Ganesh Mahipaul. When you don't know what to do, Amanza Walton-Desir MP. Call on Sue. He's always there for you when you don't know what to do. Call on Sue. Any problems you got? Huh? Any problems you got? Yeah. It is not PPK, no. Sue cares. He got his support. Sue cares. Try and see what you can do. Folks, the wicked, stink, and dirty. I ain't gonna tell y'all, wicked, stink, and dirty. Look what they do to ramps logistics today. Folks, them people here come trying to live the Caribbean dream. Piece of the Guyanese dream. And we hear them people don't them with the local content certificate. We tell ramps, y'all gotta ramp it up. Ramps logistics, your problem, I know what the problem is. Right? Ramps logistics have one problem. They meet Sue. Because Sue will knock on Jack the front door and say, Jags, don't get me outside too long. I'll make an example. Jags, Ramps here with me. What we gonna do for them boys? Right? You know what Jack you're gonna say? I handle the government side. You handle all the agreements. That's the problem. Ramps. So Ramps are here, working the soul case out. The political statement said we follow everything. Every hoop they ask us for jump through. We said one problem y'all get. Y'all meet Sue. If you meet Sue, you got problems. You don't have problems from birth to death. You got a problem. Sue got all the support. He handles all the agreements. Then y'all buy? Y'all anyhow vice president? He handles the government side. Call Sue. Rams don't pull out yet. Rams is a Trinidadian company trying to get a piece of the Guyanese spy. You know, our CARICOM brothers and sisters and so on. But then call Sue. You know, Rams slaps in, you know. Y'all make Isabel Young come from all the way she come from. And know but Sue, y'all are right here. Y'all money was in tall. I went through the Facebook page. I see a set of receptions, the whole thing. Y'all hosting the wrong reception. Y'all got a sponsor reception. Themselves that can pay house rent. 2 million US a month house rent. Y'all money got at all. Y'all hold the receptions the right place. That's the problem with y'all. Right, but don't go yet. Right? Sue on the run. He might run into y'all. Hold on. Don't pack up yet. Don't pack up. Folks, coming up, main event. Coming up, I got Amanza Walton-Desir with me and MP Ganesh Mahipaul, both members of parliament. Amanza looks after foreign affairs and international cooperation, and Ganesh Mahipaul in the communities. Don't tell me you and me Sue in the communities, because Sue is the man that handles the problems. Folks, what's happening in this country? Amanza, I'm certain you've engaged, Sugate, Guyana for sale. What happened in this country? Amanza, soon you back turn. You just gone for the whole country fall apart. You know what's the problem? You leave. Talk to us. Amanza Ganesh, welcome.
Thanks for having us, Sharon. Good evening to you and to your viewers and listeners. I'm just watching very, very interestingly to see how things are unfolding. And I'll tell you what I take away from all of this. That we really as Guyanese need to do some serious introspection. Were it the APNU AFC or a minister of the APNU AFC or President Granger, who you know wouldn't get into that type of foolishness, involved in this, you would have heard the criticisms and the condemnations from left, right, and center. The silence of the usual suspects is deafening. And it says to me that as a nation, we have to check our soul. Because if this were me or Ganesh or yourself,
Correct.
they would have been on the mountaintop. Not one single condemnatory release you've seen. Not one single condemnatory statement. At a bare minimum, condemning the fact that this is not the usual way business is done. Nothing, just nothing. And so I want to say to all of them, categorically, you have precluded yourself in the future from commenting on anything.
Correct.
You have lost every ounce of credibility.
Correct is right.
So we don't want to hear from you again. because you have shown the emperor has no clothes. You have shown very firmly that unlike what you pretend, you do not stand on the side of truth and right. You don't
Mm-hmm.
stand on the side of Guyanese. You just foster and facilitate corruption. You have shown us who you are, so we don't want to hear again from you. Because as old people say, if you got to talk for rain, you got to talk for sun. And they have failed to do that. So that is what I've taken away from that. We're going to go into the nuances, but I'm
Yep.
happy that this has laid bare the hearts of the people who pretend to be guardians of democracy and who pretend to have an interest in the country. That when it comes down to money and it comes down to them remaining in good graces to make money and to bleed the people of Guyana and the treasury, that they're willing to stay in complicit silence.
Yep. Yep. Ganesh?
Sherrod, I can't help but agree with Amanza and what she just said, and to add that I find it very difficult to understand how is it that some of these people who have come into defense mode for Bharat Jagdeo, how is it that they can sleep at nights with a clear conscience? Now, I am not going down the road of being of basically. I'm looking at this thing objectively, and when Jagdeo made that statement and said that Sue handles all the arrangements, something tickled in my head because as a government, you're expected to govern for all of Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
And as a government, there's standard operation procedures that you're expected to follow in the eyes of ensuring that there is transparency and accountability.
Correct. Correct.
And no part of the procedure for government to award contracts require an individual who has no ties to the government to handle all arrangements.
Mm-hmm.
So when
Mm-hmm.
I heard that Sue handles all the arrangements, that was the perfect time for Priya Manikchan to shut up as the Minister of Education, because we don't want you to mislead our children so that they wouldn't understand what is right from what is wrong. It was the perfect time for Deodat Indar to shut up. It was the perfect time for Jerry Govaya to shut up, because the man said it clearly in the video that has circulated. Sue handles all the arrangements.
Yeah, Ganesh,
So
as
let's
you're on
put this
that,
out there.
Ganesh, as you're on that, let's give the viewers who might have had a chance to see this yet that snippet of it.
Will get all his support. Sue deals with all the agreements. I don't.
I understand. I understand.
The thing is that my thing is that I am in government,
I understand.
so I assist from government side.
I know.
That's it.
Sue interjected, telling us this wasn't the place to talk about the bribe.
因為佢由頭都係啦係啦，即係我要知道，即係啲錢係入咗佢嗰度先得㗎。如果唔係，
Mm-hmm.
So let's put it into context now. Sue handles all the agreements. I want to know, as a member of parliament, a citizen of Guyana, a member of the Public Accounts Committee, I want to know who is Sue in the government. How much money does Sue work for?
Mm-hmm.
What is his salary and his benefits as an employee of the state? Because clearly, if Sue is going to handle all the agreements, Sue has to have an obligation to the state to handle it within the confines of the law.
Correct.
Sue has to
Correct.
ensure that all the laws are satisfied, all the criteria have been met, and that when he weighs what they're coming with, and when he documents this agreement, and I will assume, bring it to the vice president for the signature of approval, it has to be properly vetted and in keeping with the constitution and laws of Guyana. So we have to know a couple of things as Guyanese. We have to know Sue's position in the government.
Yep.
What is his designation? We have to know how much money does he work for and what are his
Yep.
benefits. We want to see the contract that Sue signed with the Guyanese government. We want to understand clearly and definitively what is Sue's engagement with this government. Because I'm reading what Priya said, you know. I'm reading what Priya said. I'm reading what Deodat Indar said. I'm reading what Jerry Govaya said. I'm reading what everybody has said on social media and elsewhere. And they jump and say that the man's hands are clean, that Jagdeo was vindicated, and that he has nothing to worry about. And at his most unguarded moment, nothing came out. Well, release this information to us. Release the connection that Sue has to the government. And I want to know also, because when you say that Sue handles all the agreements, you are implying that Sue already dealt with a number of agreements.
Yes.
So I want you to release to the public
Tell
all
us.
the agreements that Sue dealt with thus far. And let us have a look at that agreement. And let us see what is written in the agreement
Yep.
and if it is satisfactory to the people of Guyana.
We would love to
That's
see
all
that
we ask
contract for the
for.
house too.
None of them have focused, none of them has focused on this critical part of what Jagdeo said, and that is Sue handles all
All.
the agreements, not some of the agreements,
Yep.
all the agreements. And you know what it brings into question too? Remember, when you are awarding contracts, there is the Procurement Act of Guyana. And the
Correct.
Procurement
Correct.
Act of Guyana specify the procedure, and you're expected to be awarded this contract by the National Procurement and Tender Administration Board. And when it is of a certain magnitude, Cabinet is expected to give its no objection.
Correct.
So if Sue handles all of the agreements and Sue is going to specify and isolate and bring a particular company before you with an agreement, what role does the National Procurement and Tender Administration Board play
Precisely.
in all of
Precisely.
these contracts that are going to be awarded? And
Precisely.
all of these contracts that have to get a no objection from cabinet and so on. So that statement that Sue handles all of the agreement has
Troubling
a
to say
lot
the
of
least.
implications.
Correct.
And it's
Ganesh
very
last year, they had just come out of the 76th UN General Assembly. You know that that meeting where Jagdeo followed and shadowed Irfan, or was Irfan shadowing him? And they spoke to this very issue about how when businessmen come and want to set up, want to invest, what is the procedure? And nothing laid down said that businessmen would have been meeting at Jagdeo's private residence. Here's some of what they spoke about last year.
So we have a question from
Here's some of that.
a business over here, a large office.
Sorry for that, Mr. President. Sir?
No problem, sir. We have a question from a business owner here in the US who migrated from Guyana, a Guyanese business owner, and want to invest in Guyana through Go Invest in a substantial way. How would that person look to bring his business into Guyana and invest in Guyana? Would that be through the consulate here, or would he go to Guyana Go Invest?
No, he can approach Go Invest directly, or he can go to the consulate for advice and support.
It's money.
But it's open. So all he has to do is get his business proposal and submit that business proposal. So an evaluation can be made, and he can be pointed in the right direction. So that's all that is needed.
The reason why he asked the question was he visited Guyana and was unsuccessful in getting an appointment with his proposal. So he reached out to us and asked.
But this is something that is very irksome, because sometimes people, if you have an office, you don't have to meet the head of the office every time, because he's busy too. You deposit your proposal, say, I'm interested. You have staff there. You meet with the staff. People walk in. The foreigners can come and do this every day, and they're moving ahead with our projects, their projects, and they go through that mechanism. How could a person not, because he doesn't meet the head of the office, not even deposit his proposal and say, here is what I want to do, can you advise me? You know, and he has a substantial sum of money. But we have to get real too. You know, sometimes our people, they need personalized attention. What we're trying to do is to make the system work. So you don't have to go and see individuals to get help. You can get help from the system. That is the only way it becomes sustainable in the long run. It's not capricious. And then you can't say, oh, or somebody wants money to get my proposal approved because that's the next thing that comes along. So the people have to cooperate too, particularly in the diaspora. I hear sometimes more complaints than an attempt to use the system that is already there, and others are using it to their advantage who come from the rest of the world.
Thank you.
Clearly, Amanza and Ganesh, clearly, Vice President Jagdew is circumventing his own system.
Yeah, definitely. And before Amanza comes in, I want to say this. If we are going to agree that there is nothing wrong with Sue and what he did, and nothing wrong with what Jagdew said.
Sue's personalized attention.
And in terms of Sue handling all the agreements, if we're going to side with Priya Manikchan, side with Deodat Indar and all the other persons that came out and said that Jagdew's hands are clean, then given the fact that Sue is missing, I want to also know who has replaced Sue. Because obviously that position is still vacant if he's missing. And obviously if that is a part of the system that the government has instituted and a part of the administration's manner of doing business in our country and part of awarding large contracts and so on, that office is now vacant if the man is missing. And we want to know who has replaced him, because the progress of the country has to continue. The work got to go on, right?
Correct.
So who replaced Sue?
Correct.
Sue
Correct.
gone missing. Do you know what, Sherrod? These people, they believe that Guyanese are stupid. They believe as though we are not educated enough to assess and decipher nonsense. They believe as though we don't have what it takes.
We beg.
They believe we're big and stupid. That's what they believe.
Yeah.
But the people of Guyana, this is something that is very serious. And it has to do with the wealth of a country that you are living in, where we are expected to develop it better for our children and grandchildren. And I keep saying that if we allow ourselves to be distracted by the hampers and the quick handouts and all these little tip of the iceberg things, we are going to miss the big picture, and we're going to miss the plane when it takes off. And we are going to end up here in this country with an illegal government as they are, trying to fool us and put a shadow over our faces, and we will want to continue to only hold on to a single grain of rice when the entire field is out there.
Correct.
To go and
correct.
We have
correct.
to be careful, and we have to understand that we cannot be distracted by the People's Progressive Party and their distraction politics.
Amanza?
Sheridan and Ganesh, look, we, like I said at the beginning, really have to decide what type of nation we want to be. This really does transcend politics and your political affiliation. You listen to that video and you hear nationals of another country speaking about the way business is done in Guyana in a most disparaging manner. And why does that not concern Guyanese is the question that I have to ask. The other issue that I have is what you saw in Jagdew's speech in Washington is his classic play to the international community. Oh, this is what we have. We want the systems to work. But what you see in practice is their undermining of that very system. And whilst he decries personalized attention, he gives personalized attention. So personalized that it happens in his home, in his living room. And so you see hypocrisy on full display. You see just disrespect and disregard for the intellect, as Ganesh said, of Guyanese people. Because remember when this story first broke, they did not know that they were on tape. Sue did not know he was being taped. Jagdio did not know that he was being taped. And so there's no if or but about whether they're lying and are duplicitous. I would expect that at least it would concern the Private Sector Commission that Sue is handling agreements. Look, these people posed as investors. The legal framework is clear. Go Invest handles the promotion of investment and the facilitating of investment. So you need to go meet with Go Invest, not Barry Jagdeo in his living room. You do not hear a condemnation for that irregularity. Just that. Just to say, you know, man, it looked bad. They cannot even come out to admit something as basic as that. And so for me, like I said, they have canceled, they have no moral right to say anything anymore about anybody in Guyana. They have lost that right. The other thing that we have to look at, Sherrod, we're not hearing your volume.
Apologies there. Amanza, on an allied issue, you're talking about the Private Sector Commission. On that RAMS logistic issue, they came out saying that a company, they didn't call them by name, has been trying to circumvent the local content legislation, and that cannot stand. We see here businessmen trying to circumvent, as you rightfully say, Go Invest in these other places, but you don't hear a word out of there.
And that is the hypocrisy that I'm speaking about. And I'm saying fundamentally, Sherrod, look, the details are the details. It is out there. It is damning. But the question for the Guyanese people remains, do we want to be a nation of laws, or are we going to allow ourselves to just descend into lawlessness? If we're going to take that decision, we have to understand that we're heading to become a failed state.
Yes.
We must understand that.
Yes.
And so you got to decide right now, because history will judge us. History is going to judge how Irfan Ali continues to handle this matter and how all of the defenders of democracy continue to handle the matter. I am noting the distractions that are happening. This commission of inquiry that was announced.
Yeah.
Nothing but a distraction.
Correct.
Nothing but a distraction. I shadow foreign affairs. We support the government in their stand because it was the Granger administration that initiated this matter going to court. We took it to court because we understood that it needed a final, legally binding settlement. You will recall that it was with the good office process before that, which
Correct.
was not final and it was non-binding essentially.
Mm-hmm.
That same principle has to be transposed into what we're doing domestically. So if you have elections petitions in a court, allow that to be heard by the final competent authority that will bind. It stands as judgment, as law, and it will bind all of the parties.
Yeah.
So you have set up a parallel commission of inquiry to do what? To simply derail the court process. I have never heard anything so asinine. Now, this is the other contradiction. In the National Assembly, there are several matters that we have attempted to raise. Now, we have attempted to raise, and we were told that we cannot raise it because it is sub judice. Why are the elections, which are under the consideration of the court in these elections petitions, why is the COI able to inquire into it? Why is it not sub judice?
As a matter of fact, in addition to that, Amanza Ganesh, there are a lot of other cases relating to electoral fraud that are in the court system as well.
Listen, we can't.
Therefore, I believe that what we have to do is challenge it as being sub judice. It is under the active consideration of the court, and therefore no other person or body ought to be allowed to inquire or comment on the circumstances until that matter is done. So you see, their
Exactly.
actions have no, in their desperation
Hypocrisy.
from this, they are losing sight of very basic and fundamental legal tenets. I want to make another point because I want our people to understand how the PPP will operate. They will send their people to distract us with personal attacks. Because when you see people have cognitive dissonance and they cannot admit, hey, this thing wrong, we buy
Yeah.
up here,
Yeah.
what they do is that they start to personally attack people. So do not be distracted by the ignoramuses that will allow themselves to engage in personal attacks and call people's names. That is their way of coping with the fact that they have cognitive dissonance. So we have to understand that. So don't allow the foolishness to get under your skin. That is how they cope. That is how they distract because they want to take you away from discussing these important matters to talking nonsense. And we, as a progressive people, do not have time for that. So don't be fooled by the distractions. Understand what this is and decide as a nation that you are going to hold this government accountable. I have one other point to make. We've heard people, oh, boots on the ground, boots on the ground, boots on the ground. Well, they have started protesting. And so we are waiting with bated breath to see the level of support that will be given.
Correct.
Remember,
Correct.
protest is a legitimate form of communicating your discontent. The Constitution allows for the peaceful assembling of ourselves together. So let us see now that protests have started in front of the office of the president, whether all of those who are talking about boots on the ground are going to show up and make their voices heard. Because being on the forefront is one thing, sitting in an armchair and behind a keyboard and saying something is quite another. So we listen, this is a moment of decision.
Correct. Correct.
Nation.
Amanza, the protest continues tomorrow, 9 o'clock. The muster point is the Square of the Revolution. And as you said, we hope the folks who are always talking about boots on the ground, they find their boots on the ground as well. Ganesh Amanza, what hope Guyanese got of having any redress for grievances they might have with the vice president of a whole country, you know, who got army perhaps at his disposal, the police force, he got, you know, regional security teams and SWAT teams, can't find a tenant. Can't find his tenant. Sue has gone missing. What hope there is for justice for the rest of us? Take a listen to this. He said he can't find his tenant. He's looking for him to throw him out, but he can't find him.
Coming back now to what actions I'll take. I made it clear that if what Sue said in his statement was not accurate, then I take legal action. The people who is ripped off can take criminal action. I'm going to take reputational action. I'm going to sue him. And I made it clear, I think it was Marcel who asked me whether he'd be a tenant of mine if I find out that he's actually said some of these things. And I said, once that comes out to the contrary, no longer. And I'm looking to him to throw him out, looking for him. Can't find him so far, but as soon as I find him, this will happen. And so that is all I wanted.
Well, Sharon, I want to know if it is an executive decision of the cabinet to dismiss Sue from his once appointed position as the person, because remember, these people said Jack Dio did no wrong. And Jack Dio said that Sue handles all the agreements. So clearly Sue get fired without a rightful hearing. He was not given the law of natural justice at his side. He was not allowed to defend himself. Clearly, from what Jack Dio has indicated there, Sue is now fired. and Sue has to be thrown out of the house that he was living in, which
Yeah.
apparently was rented from. You see how nonsensical it is.
It's a
How
circus over there.
nonsensical it is for you to just replay it back in your head, and you have to listen to people like Priya Manikchan and Deodat Indar and the likes defend something like this. It is so stupid. And
Decadence and decay.
we have to be careful of the distraction politics. I want to agree with Amanza fully. And it makes me remember the Walter Rodney incident, where Gail Teixeira in 2005 brought a motion to have an inquiry into the death of Walter Rodney. And the PNC said on that motion in 2005, yes, let us have that inquiry. Let us have an independent international inquiry without delay. In 2005, you know the PPP, that motion was passed in the National Assembly with 17 PNC MPs voting for it. And all the PPP MPs, they refused to vote. They didn't want an independent international inquiry so that we can find out how is it that Walter Rodney died in 2005. And from 2005 till 2014, when there was a hung parliament, when Ramotar was being hanged, if I may put it that way, and the election was coming up, and you know what they said? Let me go and put this inquiry into place now, because what was their intention? Their intention was to name, blame, and shame the PNC.
Yeah. Distraction.
So that they could have used that. They could have used that now so that they could have basically go to the electorate and tell the electorate what PNC been do. Then 2014. Then came 2016. The motion come back again by Gail Teixeira. Gail Teixeira, they really, really like Walter Rodney, because it's every motion that come to Parliament since 2005 concerning that distinguished gentleman came from Gail Teixeira. So I am saying that to say, Sherrod, that here we have again distraction politics. Their intention of this COI is to really, Irfan, first of all, is illegitimate. Let's establish that. We were in the recount. Amanza, you were there. Sherrod, you were there. The results that were declared for this election also is coupled with 49 ballot boxes, not having statutory documentation to verify the votes in it. This election results also has in it dead people whose names were ticked off as an indication that they voted.
Correct.
Migrants who didn't return to this country on or before the 2nd of March 2020 voted. Poll books were missing. Oaths of identities missing. Oaths of the blind missing. A set of irregularities, abnormalities, anomalies. It was fraud at a whole different level. So Irfan is sitting in an illegitimate seat. And the illegitimacy that he is sitting on, he wants to get some degree of legitimacy. And he is now attempting this whole COI story in an attempt to give him a degree of legitimacy.
He should call elections.
That is what he's looking for. So if you are an aggrieved party, or you're a part and parcel of the fraud that happened in election 2020, you go in and name the people who clear your name. You see that the foundation of this COI is based on corruption, if I may use that word, Sherrod, because it is weak. The foundation is weak in terms of the establishment of the COI. There is no sound footing or grounding for Irfan Ali to make any pronouncement on a COI. If he wanted to give it some degree of weight, then one would have thought that you would have engaged the Alliance for Change, the APNU, even Schumann, who is one of them. He would have engaged all of these different political parties in the National Assembly and let us come to a consensus to move forward, because all of us want to know what happened in that elections, you know. I want to know. I'm sure Amanza wants
you have
to
a right to know.
want to know, Sherrod. And we want to know the damn truth.
We have a right
We
to
don't
know.
want to know what the PPP wants to tell us. We want honesty. We want the truth. We want to know what is the credible facts
Yep.
in the
Yep.
matter.
Yep.
And I am not going to believe a single word that comes out of this COI because it was named by an individual who is an illegitimate president looking for legitimacy.
Yep. Amanza and Ganesh, in this press conference yesterday, Jaggi was talking with Sue as his friend, and then he talks about the quality of people that takes advantage of others when given access. So why don't you take a listen to this and perhaps expand on it on the other side? He said, it's his friend, Sue's friend. Take a listen.
Matter, would you prefer me to lie and say he's not my friend? I've known this guy, and like I know a lot of people in this country, I spoke exactly the truth then and in the interview. I said that is so. Being friends with me doesn't mean that you can abuse the friendship, and that's what he had done. Now that I've seen this, the interview and what he said outside of the meeting, even his attempt to say, the guy is clean, and then went off into something else. Now, this was, as I explained to you, Dennis, this was a secret recording, and it was not all contiguous. I don't think they were all contiguous, but throughout it all, that's why I'm giving you the context. Throughout it all, they were trying to, in 15 to 20 minutes, trying to get me to say I would be involved in his business. That is Sue's business to build a hotel and a casino, and that with the investor. And I said no. Throw that. You saw that. I don't want to be involved. And I do assist. If for example, that is why every one of those hotels, all 12 of the MOUs and the 18, that we met with every one of those investors. Every one of them, there was a committee that was set up that met with everybody, the entire group of people, all 18 of them. This is not anything unusual. I saw one reporter said, oh, investment is not Jack.
Yeah, so clearly he's saying here Sue's involved in some kind of pay for play. How come he's ended up with these kind of friends, either in jail or on the way to jail? Ahmad and Khan and now Sue. Where's getting these friends from?
But Sharon, before Amanza comes, the 18 investors that they met with, how many of the agreements did Sue put together?
Mm-hmm.
You can remember, Jack, you said Sue deals with all the agreements.
Yeah.
So how many of the 18 did Sue really deal with?
His story doesn't add up. Amanza?
I think that at the level of Parliament, we must now request the details of the meetings with these investors. Time, place, where they were held. The VP has said that they met with them. So we must see those details. Those are now public details that he has put out there. So it is liable to be questioned in the National Assembly, and I am sure that we will so do. Look, if you have a tenant and you can't find the tenant and you want your place back, you put out a public notice or some type of notice to where you last know the person to be, and then you change the locks on your property, and
if you're serious,
and you put the belongings out.
Yeah.
So to promise me that you are evicting Sue, I mean,
and then smiling and I'm finding him, man. I'm finding him.
He must credit people with a modicum of sense. You know what I'm saying? I just think he is so disrespectful to believe that those things will fly. Now, you cannot, as a vice president, it is better that he did not have that press conference, because what it demonstrated in very stark terms is that he is guilty as hell of at least misconduct in public office.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The thing to do was to be enraged and agitated. So why are you here? This is not the way I do business.
Yes.
Please leave my house type thing. Not
Yeah.
Sue gets all the support. Sue handles all of the arrangements. I assist from the government side. It says to you a couple of things. There is precedent because Sue has clearly handled arrangements prior. So come on, man. You're not, we have to start looking at this thing dispassionately. And I want the trolls and all of them to know that it doesn't matter what they say and what propaganda they
Yeah.
spin, or they try to attack us personally, it does not take away from the stench of this. The other point is, and I want to say to our supporters, we have absolutely nothing to be ashamed about. This call about SOPs just demonstrates just how deceitful Jack Dio and his band of sycophants are. Because they do not hold the seat of power based on SOPs. There were statements of recount that superseded SOPs. So to say SOPs is to operate as if the recount that you occupy office pursuant to never happened. And so, in calling for it, you are, in essence, undermining your legitimacy that you purport to have. Because you don't sit in office pursuant to SOPs, you sit in office pursuant to
Yep. Yep.
statements of recount. Those statements of recount, however, are
Yep.
not unqualified. They are qualified by reports. They are
Correct.
qualified by reports that record anomalies.
Observation
They are
reports.
qualified by the observation reports that indicate that there are 49 ballot boxes with no statutory documents.
Mm-hmm.
They are qualified by reports, observation reports, not taken by the APNU, AFC, or the PPP, but by GCOM, that shows irregularities, missing poll books. So they need to take several seats and understand that when you ask for SOPs, you are shooting yourself in the foot because you do not occupy the seat of power pursuant to SOPs. If you did, then you would be occupying the seat of power pursuant to SOPs dated February 29th. So get that very, very clearly. So I want to say to our people, don't be distracted by nonsense about SOPs. They occupy government based on SORs. SORs that are qualified by observation reports, which show massive anomalies. And I
Correct.
guarantee you,
Correct.
were the AP and new AFC sitting in office on 49 ballot boxes without statutory documents, you would not hear the end of it. So I
Correct.
want all of them to understand that we will not let you forget that you sit in that seat of government based on invalid and votes that are not credible.
Correct. 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 Correct.
So, we have to continue to keep this thing in perspective. And not only are you sitting there on invalid votes, you are meting out hardship on the Guyanese people with your policies that are failing, with your policy of enriching your friends and giving your friends all of the support based on your words. Because you
Yeah.
said so all the support.
Yeah. It's friends too.
So Guyanese have to understand that this is not a government that cares about the people of Guyana. They don't care about whether or not the average public servant can eat. And all of these grants that they are handing out. You notice Kaichur News carried an article today that we have a
The
6
bank.
billion deficit
Yeah.
in our reserves. Do people?
That's the tell where we going?
We have to explain to people what that means. A large part of it is that our exports are down. Guyana is not exporting anything. It means that the economy, the non-oil economy, is doing nothing and going nowhere. And
Correct.
so the central bank is bleeding money. And that is because of the mismanagement. Now, if you are doing so poorly with all this oil money, contrast that with the tenure of the AP and UAFC, who didn't have oil revenue.
Correct.
The
Correct.
public servants were able to get increases in successive years.
Yeah.
The standard of living of Guyanese were raised. So when they come talking stupidness, you tell them to take several seats because these are the facts. And we will not allow you to forget the facts.
Up top, up top, up top, up top. Ganesh and Amanza, I'd crave your indulgence for some final thoughts as we wrap up tonight's program. Ganesh, I leave the
Thank
last
you for
one to
having
Amanza.
me, first of all, and I want to echo similar sentiments like Amanza and remind our people that they should not fall prey to this distraction that the People's Progressive Party is engaged in. The matter is very simple. Jagdeo must go because he has been involved in a matter that cannot bring clarity to the people of Guyana, and he has a lot to hide. It is clear. His words alone tells us what has happened, and it is frightening to know that that is the kind of operations our resources are being met with in terms of disbursement and awarding of contracts and the likes. I want to encourage our Guyanese citizens to stay alert and
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
familiar with what is happening and do not be distracted by the politics of the People's Progressive Party. As Sherrod Duncan said, the protest continues tomorrow at
The
9
struggle
o'clock. And
continues.
we need to build the momentum to send the message strong to the People's Progressive Party. And we need to also stay connected with each other and understand what is happening in our country with our resources. And if we don't, then we will only be having a bad future for our children and our grandchildren. I want to encourage our citizens also that at the next election, do what is right. And the simple thing to do what is right is to vote the People's Progressive Party out of government. They are a shameful bunch of people that are occupying the seat of government illegitimately, and they should be stripped of their borrowed robes and let the rightful political entity or the rightful political organization that started a course to deliver a solid, good life for all Guyanese, laid with good foundation, resume their seat and continue to build for the future generation and all to enjoy. Thank you very much, Sherrod, for having me.
Thanks, Ganesh. Amanza?
Sherrod, I believe, like I said earlier, I'll end by reminding that as Guyanese, we have to make a decision that we are going to put Guyana first. And by putting Guyana first, I mean that we must be able to call wrong wrong and right right. That is the only way that you build a nation. I want people to understand that it is okay to disagree with your leaders
Yeah.
because your allegiance has to be to country.
Mm-hmm.
When you take your allegiance away from country and you put it to man, you are susceptible and subject to the whims and fancies of that and caprices, to use the VP's words, of that person. But if you love Guyana, you are bold enough to stand up and say, hey, this is wrong. I don't agree, and this should not be done. We have to begin to put Guyana first. We have to do away with this mentality that says, even though I am suffering, even though I am punishing, always we own in there and we can't say nothing about it. That is not a mentality that will see Guyana developing and
At
realizing
all. At
potential.
all.
What it does is that it facilitates our exploitation. And it allows us to continue to be relegated to second and third class citizens in our own country because we are so busy just fighting each other and defending the indefensible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying that it is time that we as Guyanese wake up, understand and ask ourselves, what is this? Why am I so bitter against my brother? What is it that causes me to be able to sit behind a computer keyboard and spew hate? Where am I as a person? It starts with the man in the mirror.
Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
we can confront these demons within ourselves. We can never confront those that are preventing Guyana from being all she truly can be. We are 56 years old, blessed with resources, but we are always be second to Haiti in terms of being behind on development. How are we comfortable with that? Meanwhile, you have the oligarchs and the friends and the families who are getting all of this support.
And the favorites.
And the favorites. Meanwhile, the mother in Canal number 2, not sure what her children are eating tomorrow. The woman in Eversham and in Bengal and in Blackbush Polder, not sure if they have dinner tomorrow. But this mentality that if I say you are wrong, Barra Jagbio, that I am somehow committing a crime, we must let them know that that is not so. You are committing a crime, neglecting your country, and looking for what is right.
In the right function democracy.
That is where the wrong is. So get out there tomorrow and make your voices heard. I want to hear labor on this. I want to hear civil society on this, because civil society, more than most, have a balancing role to play. And if they remain silent at this time, they will have robbed themselves of any right to speak again in the future.
Yeah.
So go out tomorrow. I can't wait to get home to join you guys. Keep the pressure up. Keep the pressure up.
Pressure.
Who are on lunch, you got a lunch hour, come out. I am saying to you that they can't send home everybody. The place will shut down. Do not be afraid. Stand up for your rights. Stand up. Bob said, get up, stand up for your rights. Now is the time to do that. Live as free men rather than die on your knees as slaves, man.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming through.
Thanks for having us, Sharon.
Thank you for having us, Sharon.
Always good
Ganesh,
this company.
I miss you, my brother.
We will catch up.
Excellent. Amanza Walton-Desir, Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Corporation. I have Ganesh Mahipaul as well, the Shadow Minister for Local Government and Regional Development. I'm so privileged to have both of them in the ring this evening, guys. And we had you, the most important folks. Over 5,000 of you stay with us for what is close to an hour and a half. Now, guys, listening in, folks, share the damn live. Smash that emoji button so that folks get valid and credible information, guys. Ensure you share the live before you go. Thanks for joining us, each and every one of you. You all know we cannot do this without you, without your love, without your support. Without your support, folks, we cannot do this. Smash the emoji button, share the damn live, and partner with us. You all know we're available via Zelle and Cash App and PayPal. MMG, the local Guyanese Cash App. Broadcasting from the national capital city of Georgetown, Guyana. MMG, folks, the local Cash App here. We're also available via MoneyGram and Western Union. Reach out to us, folks, and help us to keep moving forward, doing more programs like these, more programs like FYI in the mornings at 8, more programs like Below the Belt, guys, and also our affiliate website, Credible Sources. All of that is what your contributions help to keep running together and moving us forward. Informed citizens. Amanza tells us all the time, make informed decisions, informed choices. Guys, that's our time. Share the live before you go. Smash that emoji button. Sandra Brotherson, good to see you. Pam McKenzie, good to see you. Len McDonald, Cicely, good to see you. Rosetta Barton, good to see you. Anne Beverly is here. Nicola Betts, John Miller, share the live. Smash that emoji button, folks. Shane Alfonso Evans and Cicely Ogles, good to see you. Nicola Betts, Marcel Williams is here as well. Cecile, good to have you. Guyana Spectator, and we see you out there. Yvonne McPherson, rather. We see you as well. Jackie Bate, Charlene Campbell. A very good evening to each and every one of you guys. Share the live before you go. Share. Partner with us. Smash that emoji button, folks. That's our time. That's our program. You want to know how? You need more guidance and partnering with us, folks. 627 627-6963. 627-6963. That's our WhatsApp. No, WhatsApp, we the man, it's 21st century. 627-6963. That's our time. Stay safe, guys. We're out of here. Stay safe. Stay safe.